All right, David, you ready? The SEC played the ACC 14 times this year and lost 10 of those games. I remember us looking at the schedule before the season and you predicting something close to that. So the matchups obviously play into that. The seedings weren't always fair, but once they got to postseason, the seedings pretty much matched up as they typically do. So we're going to match up the SEC in what I would consider to be the battle for the best conference. Throw out the Big 12, throw out the Pac-12, even though I would have never said that just a couple years ago with the Pac-12. But right now, SEC, ACC, Big 10. All right, here we go. So we're going a 10-game series. And the reason I do this, David, is I think, one game, sometimes it's a little difficult to determine, wow, that's a tough game to figure out for one game. But over 10 games, give us a feel for what you think would happen here. So we got Alabama, Clemson. It seems to me that they played at some point here recently.
Yeah.
But they're playing 10 times now, David.
Different times. I'll use that as the baseline. I'll go with Clemson.
They're playing 10 games here. Who's going to win?
Okay. I got
how
what you're saying.
many times? Yeah.
I picked Clemson to win that game. I picked Clemson 6-4. So here we go. I picked Clemson.
All right. We got the Gators going up against Louisville, and even though Louisville, I don't think is the second best team in the ACC, they went 7-1. They earned the 2 seed, so that's the matchup.
Florida's defense, we saw what Lamar Jackson did at the end of last year against Kentucky, against LSU in a bowl game. I think Florida's defense gets enough for. I think they would take that in a 10-game series as well.
All right, what 6-4?
Yeah, 6-4.
I'm marking down scores. All right,
okay, there we go.
Taking on Virginia Tech, who made it to the ACC championship game.
Are we talking a healthy Auburn or a not healthy Auburn?
Everybody's healthy.
Everybody's healthy. Okay. Auburn's
healthy.
best was better than Virginia Tech's best. 7-3 Auburn.
All right. We got LSU, who, of course, took on Louisville and made them look really bad, 29-9, taking on Florida State. Now, that's the game I want to see.
If Les Miles was coaching, let's see. I'd say 8-2 FSU.
Okay, wow. Okay, we got Texas A&M taking on North Carolina.
Can we split them?
Yeah. Who's going to win 10 games? Home and home, 5-5.
Carolina, 6-4.
Okay. All right. The Volunteers are 6th seed in the SEC, taking on Miami. That's a pretty good series, too. I'd like to see that.
I'd like to see that. Tennessee, 7-3.
Okay. Georgia, who finished strong against TCU, taking on Pitt, who, of course, beat Penn State and Clemson, but couldn't beat Northwestern in the Pinstripe Bowl. So you figure that one out.
Georgia, 7-3 there.
Okay. We got Kentucky, and, of course, yeah, that one looks familiar, too. Kentucky and Georgia Tech in the Ramblin' Wreck looking really good in the bowl game, but this time they play 10 times.
There we go. 6-4 Tech.
Okay. All right, next up, we got Arkansas. We know what they did in the Belk Bowl, blowing a 24-0 lead to Virginia Tech, but they were kind of playing up in the rankings. This time, Arkansas takes on NC State, who pushed around Vanderbilt.
6-4 Arkansas.
Okay. We got Mississippi State, the 10 seed, who barely made a bowl game, got a win against a MAC team taking on Wake.
6-4 Mississippi State.
All right. South Carolina, we talked about Will Muschamp's team getting to a bowl game, losing in overtime to South Florida. This time they get Syracuse.
7-3 Carolina.
All right. I'm right there with you. Vandy, all right, blown out in a bowl game by North Carolina State. This time they get BC. BC, a winner in a bowl game against Maryland.
You say you would like splits 5-5?
Sure. They're playing 10 times.
There we go. Yeah, 5-5
right.
on that one.
Now, here's the best team at this seeding I can imagine. Think back to September, taking Alabama to the wire. Ole Miss, right. Chad Kelly back in the lineup, fully healthy. This is quite a 13 seed. Ole Miss taking on Virginia.
Yeah, that's the 8-2 Ole Miss.
All right, and finally we got the Mizzou Tigers and taking on Duke, who finished a 1-7 in the ACC.
I still like Duke pretty good there, so I'd say 7-3 Duke.
Okay. I will add this up later because it's going to take me like 45 minutes to add
sure.
numbers. All right, so that's one of the things that I'm doing on Mark Rogers TV is before I crunch the numbers objectively, I'm just a mention of the conferences, just a little fun, causes a little debate, a little discussion on who would win these matchups. David Waters from Gators Breakdown jumping on board with us on College Football Coast to Coast. David, you're always welcome, you know that, and it was a good time having you.
Thanks, Mark.